Hiya, my name's Charlie and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the Umbrella Academy book tag. This was a tag created by the wonderful Jamie from Jamie Reads. She's gorgeous. She tagged me because she knows how much I love the show. In case you haven't seen it, the Umbrella Academy is basically it's a show on Netflix, and it's an original show on Netflix, and it's come about because the premise of the show is basically, I think there's like 7 kids whose parents were kind of like, they were sort of born on the same day randomly, except for they weren't like these people somehow got impregnated and then gave birth on the same day, and it's like this super phenomenon. And this guy, it was loads of these. It was more than 7 children that this happened to. It was all over the globe. And this guy, I can't remember his name. The guy that kind of runs the home, which I'll put this picture across the screen. Then goes around and picks up these children somehow and sort of negotiates with the families to buy these children off these families, and they've all got like their own little powers and stuff. So yeah, and that's sort of how that comes about. So anyway, it's such a good show. I love it so much. I'm so pleased that Jamie tagged me to do this because I would be gushing about this show anyway, and it's definitely going to be my favourites. I just love it so much. So Jamie's created her own original tag. I am aware there is another original tag, which I will put in the description. So I don't have time to do all the questions today, so I'm only going to do Jamie's because, well, she tagged me and blah blah. So anyway, I'm just going to dive right in. Right, so the first one is Luther, number 1, because they were all numbered originally. He didn't give them names. So but his name is Luther. Well, the first number 1 is called Luther, and he's kind of like a super strong buff kind of character. But the question is for this one is a book with an inappropriate love interest. This makes me laugh because something happened that you're like, what? And it kind of made me cringe, and it kind of made me feel a bit sick, I'm not going to lie. Lots of different people will have lots of different opinions about this, no doubt. But to me, I was like, ugh. Anyway, so that's enough about that. Anyway, so a book with an inappropriate love interest. I couldn't think of any books with inappropriate love interest. I'm being organised, I've got myself some tea today. So I think I've cobbed, I've kind of like cadged out this one. So what I'm going to just answer for this one is the Game of Thrones book series. Even though I haven't actually read it, and I'm aware I haven't read it, it is one I plan on reading. It's on my bookish poster, and lots of people I know love it. Charlotte, one of my friends, Charlotte, loves the book, that book and the whole Game of Thrones world. So it is one I plan on getting to, and there's definitely inappropriate love interests in that. There's probably loads of inappropriate love interests in that. So, sorry, I sipped my tea. Sorry, right, so it stops me getting a dry throat. Right, anyway, question number 2 number 2, is character Diego, and it's a book with a vigilante. Now, Diego is a kind of this cool guy who's got like, I think he's got like super strength, super speed, kind of like ability, he's quite agile kind of character. I think that's like his superpower. I'm probably being thick and forgetting everything. I will look it up after and be like, But yeah, so he's a really cool character. He's kind of like helps the police out quite a lot, and he's sort of superhero is sort of defending people and kind of taking care of people. So yeah, with his I was struggling again to think of this one, but I cut my answer for this one. It will be like for a book with the vigilante would be like the Lunar Chronicles, because they're trying to overthrow like person who's like in charge of Luna at the moment. I can't even remember her name. I've been reading all the books over and over again. I'm shocked. That was shocking. And so yeah, they kind of, there's vigilantes. To me, there's vigilantes in that because of the nature of what they're doing. There's quite a lot of them that are vigilantes in that book. So I'm going to say the Lunar Chronicles for that answer. Number 3, Allison. Oh my gosh, Allison. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's like super talented as well. Her talent is to sort of, she whispers, she sort of has the power of suggestion. So I think they call her like rumour or something. So she like says, oh, I've heard a rumour, and she'll like suggest, talk people into doing things. This has none of the people, none of the children of this house, the powers haven't always served them well, and actually all of them are kind of like, they've got quite a sad kind of backstory, and the guy that brought them in, he really neglected them and treated them terribly. Yeah, so the consequences of her talent aren't very nice, and she's had some trouble. So I feel for Allison. I really feel for Allison. she's a mother, which that, like, when stuff has happened with that, which I won't spoil, but yeah, oh my gosh. Anyway, so a book with a famous character. So for this, I have picked Billy and Me, because by Giovanna Fletcher. I read this a while ago. It's a chick lit. The premise of it is, I think it's kind of like, what's that, like Notting Hill kind of scenario, where a famous star comes to the village and they kind of, like, the girl falls in love with the famous star, who's a male pop star, and it's that kind of thing. So to me, that is my answer for that one. Now we're on to number 4, Klaus. Oh my gosh, Klaus. Klaus is played by Robert Sheehan, and oh my gosh, I love Klaus so much. Klaus is one of my favourite characters of the whole of this show. He just makes me laugh so much. He's got a really, like, again, tragic kind of, like, story, because the things that they were all subjected to, like I said, were horrific, and his were super horrific. I don't want to spoil it, but you have to watch it. Oh, his power is to see, he sees dead people, and oh my gosh, this is like, he's been terrified basically by this and scarred by this, and he basically like medicates himself with, like, drug use and alcohol and stuff to try and block out his powers, and he's just such an interesting character. He's actually a lot more complex than you think. There's stuff that you find out about with Klaus, but he's wacky, he's funny, generally he makes you just laugh, and yeah, Robert Sheehan, just brilliant. So so this one is a character that can contact the dead. So for this one, I'm going to pull my old House of Chicken Legs. I love that book. This is a middle grade book written by the lovely Sophie Anderson. It's about a girl called Marinka, who's her and her grandma guide the dead spirits through and to the, like, through the passageways, sort of to the other side, as it were. And that's her job. So I've talked about the Chicken Legs a lot. It's one of my favourite books I read last year. It's such a wonderful middle grade. It's got so much heart to it. So that's my answer for that one. Right. Number 5. Oh my gosh, number 5. And he doesn't even have a name. Number 5 doesn't actually have a name, because whilst the others were getting older and I think they found names for themselves, number 5, kind of, you'll find out, kind of, he's been sucked. He lost in time at one point. So he doesn't have a name for himself, but he's such a cool kid. He's like I think he's like a teenage kid, but actually he's like 50 years old or something. So, which you'll find out why when you watch it, like I said. So his question is a character that can time travel. Oh my gosh, like I said, I love number 5. Oh my gosh. So a character that can time travel. I've got How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. He's not really, he can't time travel, but this guy in this book. So the guy in How to Stop Time can't actually time travel, so I'm cheating for this, obviously. But he can, he's got this bodily ability where he doesn't age, so he sort of lives through time, as it were. So he's lived through, like, the ages of the witches to, like, the present day, and he's seen and gone through so much. So I'm kind of going to, again, cheat with this answer, and that's my answer for that one. But I really love that book. Matt Haig's writing I always really enjoy, so I recommend that one. Number 6, Ben. So Ben is a character that you find out at the beginning has passed away, and it's, oh my gosh, I'm not going to again spoil too much about. You do find out more about Ben a little bit more about Ben. But he does appear more as you watch the Umbrella Academy in the episodes. But yeah, again, you don't know too much about him yet, but I'm hopefully in season 2 we'll hear more about Ben and get more of his backstory, which I would be looking forward to. Anyway, so this question is a character that can become a monster or a character that is a ghost. So for this one, I have chosen the book Rebecca, and I've not long finished reading this book. Rebecca isn't an actual ghost, but she might as well be, because her character, like, she's like, this is a book by Daphne du Maurier, and basically, so this unnamed character, you're hearing the book from, like, an unnamed character perspective, like the wife of Rebecca comes into this book, and basically she's overshadowed constantly by the woman that was there before, that was Rebecca, and so definitely I feel like the character of Rebecca is a ghost in this book, and she might as well be a supernatural presence, for her presence is more real in some ways than that of the narrator's voice that you hear. So yeah, and you definitely feel that you get to know Rebecca almost more than you do the character that you're reading from. So that's my answer for that one. Right, number 7, Vanya. Oh my gosh, Vanya. I loved Vanya's character. Again, she's like one that you're told doesn't have a talent, and at the beginning of the thing, and she's been sidelined, and you really feel for Vanya. So she's really, really interesting, complex character again. And for her, this question is a character that has had a hard childhood. Yeah, so as they all have, but Vanya especially, you do really, oh my gosh. Anyway, so for this I have picked Bigger Thomas from Native Son, and I read that recently. I've done a whole summary on that from my Blackathon wrap up, so I'll link that video down below. But if you haven't checked out Native Son, 100% I'd recommend it. Bigger Thomas was growing up in like the 1930s in New York, and he had such a hard life, and so definitely add as my answer for that one. Right, the next question is Pogo, a caring parental side figure. I know there are debates about whether Pogo is in fact a caring side figure, because some people think that I'm sure when I saw oh, I can't remember your video's name. I literally said it just a second ago before. Anyway, either which way. I watched someone who I love's videos recently, and they did this, and they said, oh, he's more like a psycho, more like. Yeah, so but a caring parental side figure, I'm going to go with Connell's mum from Normal People. Connell's mum is just such a wonderful character. I read Normal People again last year, and I really I thought Connell's mum was a really good character, so I'm going to say her. So that's that. The next one, last but not least, is Hazel and Cha-Cha, a book with a pair of assassins. I haven't actually read that many books. I don't think I've read any books of assassins. So I had to do some research to find a book that matched up with this. And an answer that came up that I thought was a good one was the Mistborn trilogy series by Brandon Sanderson. This is a book that I've heard a lot. My lovely friend Ethan from Bookish Drama talks a lot about this series, and it's definitely one I want to get to. And yeah, I've not read any Brandon Sanderson, which is shocking. But yeah, and I know that there are assassins in this series, so that is my answer for that one. So that is the tag done. As I mentioned, Ethan, I'm going to tag him. So Bookish Drama, I tag you. I'm also going to tag. Let me think. Who shall I tag? I'll put some names in the description. And I'll tag you on Twitter. So if I think of any more names, I'll put it down below, and like I said, tag you. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't seen the Umbrella Academy, I highly recommend you do, because you won't be missing out. It's so good. It's so funny. It's so humorous. And there's so many moments in it that you're just like, oh! And I literally can't wait for the second series. I'm sure they'll be filming one soon. So yeah, I can't wait for it. So take care, you guys. Sending you lots of love. If you're new to my channel, I post videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. So love you lots. Bye!